Thank you very much, Adrian. The prize in Dortmund is huge. The noise in Dortmund is huge as well. Officially only around 15,000 Portuguese fans in. Sounded more like 60,000 during the rendition of that national anthem. But they are outnumbered and outflanked by the Turks, of course, a very large Turkish community within Germany. They certainly outnumbered the Georgians when these sides met here on Tuesday, and they've done it again today. So expect plenty of noise for Vincenzo Montella's side. He made 4 changes ahead of kick-off today. Binders is coming in goal due to the injury sustained by the keeper Cardiola, Pardice, Akaidon and Chilik across the back. Ayhan is alongside Chanaholo, who are in central midfield, with Kerchi as well. The 2 wide players, Aktukolo and Akun, and Yilmaz will lead the line for this Turkish side this evening. As for Portugal, 1 change from the victory against Czechia, and that sees the introduction of João Palhinha into midfield. Diogo Dalot drops down to the bench, so it's Costa in goal. A switch to a back 4 of Cancelo, Diaz, Pepe and Mendes. Of course, Pepe continues to set a new record for the oldest outfield player to play at the European Championships. Fernandes is alongside Palhinha and Vitinha in midfield, with Silva and Leo flanking Cristiano Ronaldo, who will lead the line up top for Portugal. The man in charge, Felix Weyer, the German. Bastian Dankert is in the VAR room. Of course, we've seen a little more VAR action in the last 24 hours. Some unwanted, I think it was felt last night, particularly in that game between the Netherlands and France. But nonetheless, we are all set and ready to go in Dortmund. The sun is shining. Temperatures about to get turned up, I think, in Germany over the next few days. Hopefully the storms will depart. And we are all set for what should be a cracker, Dean Ashton.
Very much so. Both teams coming into this not in fantastic form defensively. So let's hope that we see plenty of goals and both teams looking to get the upper hand.
Yeah, that win against Georgia was the first win in the last 6 games for Turkey, and the first time they've won their opening game at a Euros. They have previously managed to win 2 consecutive games before in the competition, but it's not something they do particularly regularly, and their record against Portugal at this competition is not good. They've lost to them all 3 times. Only Russia have a worst head-to-head record against sides. They lost 4 times to Spain, and that could be an unwanted record that Turkey could pick up this evening. 30 seconds in, it's going to be Portugal who are kicking from left to right in the opening 45 minutes. They are, of course, in their traditional red and green, and it's the all-white with the red flashes for Turkey. And immediately Pepe, at advanced age, of course, as we know, 41 years of age, 117 days today. You've got Cristiano Ronaldo, that whopping great 39 years and 138 days. But looking at the close-up during the anthem, not a single wrinkle on him at all. Here's Bernardo Silva towards the edge of the penalty area, sweeps an early ball into the box. Cristiano Ronaldo with a shot on the volley, and it's a tame one that's comfortably gathered away to our right-hand side.
But that would have been something very, very special. Ball played down the line towards Leao, little Cruyff flicking towards Bruno Fernandes, who let it run between his legs and then passed it into Bernardo Silva, who'd made a run off the back of his teammate and then clipped the ball towards Ronaldo, who sized it up for the spectacular right foot volley and just didn't quite catch it. Couldn't put an end to a wonderful flowing move from Portugal, who will show that they've got all of that quality when they put it together.
Well, you mentioned it earlier, the first cross of the game from them. They managed 30 against Czechia, the most in match day 1 and the most by a Portuguese side since back in 2016 against Austria in this competition, as Pepe heads comfortably back into the arms of the man away to our left-hand side, Diogo Costa, and the booing immediately is for every time a Portuguese player has possession of the ball. That's a sign of how they are outnumbered here, the Portuguese players and supporters this evening, in what is almost like a home game for Turkey. Will they take advantage though? Here's Ruben Diaz, midway inside his own half, just away to the left-hand side. He plays the ball out to Pepe. Pepe will go to the far left-hand touchline where Mendes is there and just tries to play a ball up the line to look for Leao, but they'll keep possession quite comfortably in the middle of the park, and it's one of the reasons I think that Palhinha is in there.
Yeah, certainly to allow the fullbacks to go. Cancelo will drift inside into a midfield role. He's got the ball now.
Lovely little flick from Bernardo Silva down this right-hand side for Cancelo. And there we have the first foul of the game. And it will be a free kick just inside the Portuguese half. It's just a catching in the back of the boot that time of Vitinha.
Yeah, the old school rake down the back of the Achilles there from Kirkju on Vitinha. I think it was actually accidental rather than meaning it.
This is football, of course, in Benfica, so in Portugal, so we'll be familiar with a fair few of the players. I mean, when you just go for this Portuguese squad, there is so much talent. Here's Fernandes at the edge of the box on his left foot, tries the shot, blocked at the edge of the tee and blocked well on this occasion. And Portugal will gather it back on halfway, but then give possession away as a ball is attempted to be played forward, that time by Artucolo, but João Cancelo will pick it up once more.
Didn't hold back, did he there? Lodakcha, the centre-back with his hair braided back, through everything. Head, arms, body, the whole lot in front of Bruno Fernandes, who was looking to strike with his left foot after a magnificent flick from Vitinha.
Didn't waste any time. Here's Yilmaz down the right-hand side for Turkey as they get forward for the first time in this game, and they're going to get a throw on that far side level with the penalty spot. I think Orkun Kökçü wanted a little bit more. He was appealing for a handball, but the referee and his assistant not interested.
Super tempo to the start of this game. And already signs that Turkey are not going to sit there. They'll want to test this Portuguese backline. They'll want to test those attacking players, whether they're happy to defend or not.
It was such a terrific game against Georgia as that ball was played across early into the edge of the 6-yard box again, and once more Artucolo, who scored that third goal in the victory over Georgia after the keeper had come up, was just trying to get in the penalty area and get a shot away on target, but it's a goal kick again for Portugal.
Yeah, it was just an awkward height, wasn't it, for Artucolo. Looked to try and bring it down, or maybe was just put off by the presence of Ruben Diaz, but Diaz was he wasn't alert to the run. The run was excellent from the winger, just cutting into the penalty area.
So on ball punted forward, that's going to be comfortably looked after by Altay Bayındır away to our right hand side. In goal, of course, today, that injury for Granuk, who is not even in the squad today, as you know as well. One of 4 changes. Artucolo with a little injury as well, the teenage sensation who scored that wonderful goal against Georgia. Let's hope that's nothing too serious. There was talk he may be rested today anyway because of the rigours for a teenager in this competition. Delightful raking ball down that right hand side. Çelik inside the box, chance for Turkey inside the 6-yard area, half cleared, and he looks like he's gone down in some discomfort here again. Artucolo, he's rolling around in the goal mouth at this moment in time. What an opportunity though for Turkey to take the lead.
Oh, brilliant ball to start with. Raking pass over to the right hand side, great ball in behind the defence. Cancelo sleeping, didn't even see Artucolo trying to sneak in behind him, tried to score with the outside of his right foot when really it would have been better to go with the inside of the left, and in the end just got a glancing blow on the ball, nowhere near the goal. Ruben Diaz cleared. It's a great chance.
I'm not too sure how he's picked up an injury there either. I'm thinking maybe that's because he's a little embarrassed that his effort on target that wasn't on target.
Yeah, it's amazing how they occur, isn't it, when you miss from 2 yards out. Just went with the wrong foot for me.
Short corner taken for Turkey. Akın with the ball swung towards the far side, half-headed clear. Bernardo Silva's going to chase it out, but it'll be a throw to Turkey this time down that right-hand side. Polina that time with a defensive header, and it was needed as well. There were 2 Turkish players just gathering at that back post. Throw taken short this time on that far side. Turkey again with the quality that was shown early on by Çelik, one of the 4 changes coming into the starting lineup today. We saw him as a substitute against Georgia, but already he's having an influence on this game. That's a really poor pass forward that time by Badice. An opportunity here for Portugal, swung into the box. Cristiano Ronaldo's there, takes it down. First touch not the best, and it's half cleared out to this right hand side, only as far as Bernardo Silva, who goes to the edge of the penalty area, right for the ball towards the back post where Ronaldo was up again, but he heads it high and wide, and again Portugal on the counter really threatening that Turkish goal.
Yeah, it was a sloppy pass to start with from Turkey. Portugal made full advantage of that. Vitinha just zipping one along the surface, and then it got clipped over the top for Ronaldo. Sloppy touch from him to start with, and then when it was recycled back in, Cancelo looking to lift it. Bruno Fernandes was in a much better position, but Ronaldo was up and was probably never going to give that opportunity up to head towards goal, and had a glancing blow over the top. Great start to the game.
João Cancelo, of course, who was on loan at Barca at the end of last season. I think the relationship's certainly very fractured with Guardiola, so I don't think he's going to find his way back to Manchester City, that's for sure. Where he will end up, who knows? He did score Portugal's first goal in qualifying for this tournament, that incredibly successful qualifying campaign, of course, where they managed to top Group J with a perfect record of 10 wins, only conceding 2 goals throughout the entire qualifying campaign. It really was a dream start for Roberto Martinez in charge of this Portuguese side. Here's Diaz with plenty of time on the ball, unchallenged, midway inside his own half, goes to the left-hand side where he finds Pepe, and then Mendes will team up nicely with Leao on that far side. They've already made advances of 10-15 yards here. Now down this right-hand side, Ronaldo's dropped in short, an exchange of passes with Vitinha. On this near touchline, it's Bernardo Silva once more, who just drifts infield and then happily gives it back to Diaz. Silva down this near touchline, and again it's João Cancelo who's made the move just in front of him. It's back with Diaz on this near side, and the 3 Man City players happy just to keep the ball between them and allow the Turkish forwards just to try and chase, but not really press too high and hard.
No, I think there's that respect there as Leao faces up.
Now on the far side, gets the ball across the penalty area. It was rolling across the penalty spot, and Cardiolo was the one who had to come across and clear, and then they try and counter down the right-hand side, Turkey, but again it's Yunus Akgün who just gets stopped in his tracks by a really good tackle from João Paulinho.
Yeah, just got to be careful there. Cilic, the right back, who's come in to allow Leao just to control that and face him up 1v1. Doesn't want to be caught out too often. Leao's so good at running with the ball, with the pace and trickery that he possesses. But Portugal there, before that switch of play, like a boxer just jabbing with their passes, nice and sharp and crisp.
Euro Game Day Live on TalkSport. Turkey on the attack down that right-hand side again. It'll slip that time by Akgün. Cilic's there to support, though, off the angle of the box, chips the ball forward, looking for Yilmaz, who started to make the run. They have it again on the right-hand side once more. It's Ayhan that just goes forward with the ball and just puts it straight out of play for what will be a goal kick. Not quite on the same wave that time. Akgün, who was unlucky because he was in a good position, ended up slipping over and just allowed enough time for Portugal to recover.
Yeah, I think with the weather we've had in Germany so far in some of the stadiums, you can tell even at the England game, you can see the pitch churning up even there, just the turf just churning as Akgün tried to take on Pepe. Yeah, they're not pressing high, Turkey, at the moment. They're just sitting in the midfield and it's given away.
Yeah, Paul that time by Mendes. Immediately he's giving the ball away in the middle of the park, but Turkey can do very little with it, and it'll be a throw to Portugal down this right-hand side. Somehow, Dean, we're 11 minutes into this game already on TalkSport, and it's still 0-0.
I know, it's been a terrific start. Good quality from both sides. And both sides actually looking to sit off. Neither team will press. Certainly not Portugal with Ronaldo up there on his own. They wait and set traps, and Turkey look to be doing the same, not looking to press high. They're allowing Pepe and Ruben Diaz and Paulinho to have good possession, but they do not want it to go in to Bruno Fernandes, Vitinha and Bernardo Silva.
They've only lost one of their last 9 group games at the Euros, have Portugal. That was against Germany back in Euro 2020, of course. That was actually played out in 2021 because of COVID. Their last loss to anyone other than Germany, we're going back to 2008 when they lost to Switzerland in a group game. That just shows the dominance that we've seen from this Portuguese side throughout the qualification part of Euros and of course beyond as well. Here they come down the right hand side. Vitinha with a cross towards that back post. It's headed goalwards towards the edge of the 6-yard box that time by Leao, and it's half cleared again from the edge of the penalty area. Just an outstretched right boot gets it away up towards halfway where Yilmaz is working hard and draws the foul in the end from Ruben Diaz, and that will be a free kick for Turkey.
Yeah, good defence, good centre forward play there. Good body position against Ruben Diaz to win the free kick, but again, how crisp was that move from Portugal down the right hand side. Cancelo into Vitinha. It's just again a little bit like the other night for Portugal, that last bit of quality when they are looking to cross is finding the free player and making the most of the knockdowns as well.
Yeah, they are incredibly impressive in possession, there's no doubt about that. This man's trying to have an influence on the game on halfway. And that's Barisai Yilmaz, and now away down the right hand side. That comes done brilliantly towards the edge of the penalty area. And again, Pepe is forced out to cover, gets some support arriving, and Bruno Fernandes is one of those who wins the ball 7 or 8 yards outside his own penalty area. And he just takes the sting out of what could have been a counter for Portugal, and now just hold possession midway inside their own half.
Oh, it felt like a waste, didn't it there? Unisak had beaten his man, and you think, go on then, put another one of those crosses in. He just checked back and then was crowded out. It's obvious in wide areas though where Turkey can get some joy, whether that's a long pass with one of the fullbacks looking to overlap, or whether it is getting into the wingers because of the positioning of the Portuguese fullbacks. If they're caught out, they'll be out of position.
Both sides trying long balls, one from Fernandes to try and find Ronaldo, didn't quite work, and that long ball forward to try and find Yilmaz. And I think probably to try and test out Pepe was the idea then for Turkey, but safely into the arms away to our left-hand side of Diogo Costa, and here they break again down the right-hand side. Portugal with Ronaldo level the edge of the 6-yard box on this right-hand side, 5 or 6 yards from the touchline. First cross is blocked, tries again, those usual dancing feet of his, clips it back, it's high, it's hanging, now gets up, and he's going to bounce down safely into the arms of Brandish in the Turkey goal away to our right.
Oh dear. Bardakshir completely done by a double step over from Cristiano Ronaldo. Lovely quick feet, but still completely committed himself, found himself on his backside, and again the ball in wasn't particularly great. The movement needs to be a little bit better for Portugal.
49th appearance today at World Cup and Euros combined for Cristiano Ronaldo, the most of any player in Europe. And there's a free kick here for a foul this time on Pepe, and Yilmaz with the kick to the back of the right or left ankle of Pepe, who goes down. Pepe did actually score his first ever international goal against Turkey when he was 25 years of age, so just a mere 16 years ago, not too long at all.
No, he's so experienced now, isn't he, Pepe? What he's won at club level, but also at international level, and certainly not lost any of his housery, should I say, because yes, he got kicked, but it's amazing how he protests his innocence when he's whacking the forwards.
It doesn't feel normal for a defender at the age of 41 to still be appearing in a competition like this at the heart of the defence of a side who, well, for me, when you look at their squad depth, they are absolutely one of the potential winners of this competition.
Yeah, I mean, look, he's kept himself in incredible condition physically.
There's Leao down that left-hand side, and Atkin doing the tracking back this time. Yeah, probably doesn't quite look as facially as young as what Cristiano Ronaldo does. However, you're right, they certainly seem to feed off each other in terms of their collective fitness, because they're looking decent shape for sure. Here down the right-hand side, Bernardo Silva again. The challenge is a good one from Coriolo, who just means the throw goes the way of Portugal, which Silva will take very quickly.
If you wasn't sure, I did try and raise my eyebrows there, but they didn't move.
It's Pepe out wide to that left-hand side, where he finds Mendes playing as a more orthodox left-back tonight, having played as one of 3 centre-halves. Oh, that's brilliant from Leao away down that left-hand side. Lovely touch of skin. He's got 3 white shirts around him. He tries to get the early crossover, but it's half blocked that time by Akaidon, and then ricochets back onto him. And that's really unfortunate, because the skill involved was terrific, and he probably deserved a little more of a reward.
Yeah, the way he just turned, and that first 2 steps of acceleration away from Celik was too much for the defender, but he had his mate there, Akaidon, who was waiting could sense it. He was there just to cover for his right back.
17 and a half minutes played. You're listening to Euro Game Day live on Talk Sport, presented by Carling, the UK's #1 lager, 18 plus. Please drink responsibly. It remains 0-0. Dortmund is bathed in sunshine and plenty of noise as well coming from the 62,000 within the stadium.
I was lucky enough to cover a couple of Morocco's games in the World Cup in Qatar, and it's got that feel about it every time Portugal have it. The whistles around the stadium, constant support for this Turkish side.
Well, they like to be reminded of that. They have won their last 11 competitive games since that defeat to Morocco saw them exit the World Cup in 2022. They've got themselves another free kick here. Foul on Polinia this time. Lunging challenge that's punished by the referee. Kaan Ayhan is the unfortunate player on this occasion. A little bit reckless maybe?
A little bit, but I think that's their tactic, Turkey. Not in terms of lunging in, but I think as soon as it goes into the middle part of the pitch, they're looking to be super aggressive in the way that they press Portugal. In particular, Vitinha, Fernandes and Polinia.
They seem almost content to let them have it further back, but the moment they approach that halfway line, they seem to be on top of them quite swiftly.
And you would have to give this Portugal side the respect that they deserve. I'm sure Cenzo, Montella have done plenty of analysis on this Portuguese side's strength. So far they've done very well just to contain Portugal to a couple of excellent breaks.
Match 23 of the 51 at this Euro 2024 competition in Germany. Match 22 earlier today finished 1 apiece between Georgia and Czechia. And the one after us, number 24, well, Belgium need a win tonight. Roberto Martinez's former side, of course, the Portugal boss, lost their opener against Slovakia. They take on Romania in Cologne tonight, and we'll have that live once we are done here on Talk Sport, the third of a triple header today. Really nice football here from Turkey. They bring the ball out from the back, and again, what a challenge that is from Pepe, and it needed to be made 5 or 6 yards outside his own penalty area. It's a wonderful sliding challenge to get the better of Orkun Kökçü.
Vital, absolutely vital, because if he gets this wrong, he's off. It's as simple as that, because he's the last man. When he's timed it to perfection, sliding in to win the ball, Kökçü taking a whack for his troubles, maybe just lacking that yard of pace. Orkun Kökçü
now away again down this left-hand side. He's being stood up here by Cilic, who's not done a particularly good job of it so far, but this time it's a little better. Gets it back to Mendes. On halfway is Pepe, and gets it across to Ruben Diaz down this right-hand side for Portugal into the centre of midfield, where it's laid off by Fernandes. Mendes again to Leao on that left-hand touchline. Mendes has gone on the charge inside of him, cuts it back across, comes towards Ronaldo, but finished brilliantly by Bernardo Silva, and Portugal have the lead. 21 minutes on the clock, and Bernardo Silva with a left-footed finish into the corner. Nothing stopping that. His 12th international goal, and it's been coming. 21 minutes in, it's Turkey 0, Portugal 1.
And if it was going to come, it was going to come from that left-hand side. Rafael Leao, excellent. Again, just turning and dribbling towards his defender. But this time, he picks the perfect time not to go on his own, not to be selfish, to just lay it down the line for his fullback, who made a great underlapping run. Mendes cuts it across, and then what's so important is when you cover in the penalty area that there's layers to it. Vitinha's in there, Ronaldo's in the second layer, and Bernardo Silva's the third. Fortunate to fall to him, and he finishes as cool as ever. Side foot curling away, but by Adish, the goalkeeper, to give Portugal the lead.
Well, he scored in each of the first 3 qualifying games for these Euros, and he's on target now in the competition itself, Bernardo Silva. And it's a really thumping finish as well. Absolutely nothing that Bayerndish could do to try and stop that from Bernardo Silva. And Portugal have got the goal to get themselves in front, which I think is always fairly ominous for sides. When they fell behind against Czechia in that first tie, you thought they may well come back, but they did find it difficult, that's for sure. And now a break on here. It's Cross that's come out to the edge of his penalty area to try and clear for Portugal. I think they're particularly good front runners though when they get their noses in front, aren't they?
Yeah, because of how well they keep the ball. Also the quality they possess on the counter-attack when a team then is trying to get back into the game. And they're just stumbling at the moment, Turkey, after that goal with a poorly placed pass. But it just shows that the quality of Leao there, to spot when it's the right time to give and when it's the right time to dribble, is really important for a wide player, and he picked it perfectly and it just opened up for Mendes to cross.
Leao again on that left-hand side, charging towards the angle of the penalty area. Again, he's got Chilik with him. Atkin as well, doubling up. Cut back though to Bruno Fernandes inside the penalty area, who just fainted for a moment to try and take a shot. Lost possession, but they've won it back courtesy of Mendes. And Mendes now on the charge towards the byline, if he can keep it in. Oh, he does. He stopped it on the line brilliantly. Fernandes on the volley. He's 3 or 4 yards wide of the left-hand post.
Oh, Mendes did absolutely brilliantly there to keep that in. And you knew he'd kept it in with the way it just stood there, hanging over the line. And then tried to play it in with his right foot, got deflected towards Vitinha, but Bruno Fernandes came steaming across to say, no, I want this volley. And usually he's very, very good from those positions and was stretching slightly.
What a landmark goal that for Bernardo Silva, his first goal at a major tournament. 15th attempt as well. There's a yellow card. First of the game. No wasting there from the referee, and it is a yellow card for Bayundas. That means he will miss the next match because he was booked in the opener against Georgia as well.
Yeah, you can see his frustration because he actually wins the ball cleanly, but then follows through with his studs showing slightly, but his studs are showing slightly because of the way he's clipped the ball away. So he's had to, force his toe up in the air to flick that ball away, and his studs are there. It's not particularly forceful. So he can feel himself unfortunate, but with the way the rules are now, the referee probably has no choice but to give him a yellow card. It's not good enough now just to win the ball, incredibly.
Yeah, the Galatasaray centre-half, Abdul Kerim Barache, will be missing then for the game against Czechia. That could well decide where Turkey will end up in this tournament, if they progress to the knockout stages or not, but they'll have to do without him, and obviously he already picked up a couple of injuries too. Portugal have possession, then 25 minutes gone here. They lead by a goal to nil. Working hard down that left-hand side, Leao, just to get himself up and about and keep possession of the ball, and he goes back to Diogo Costa. And then they'll find Pepe, and they'll now just try and control the tempo of this game now they've got the lead. Yeah,
they'll slow it down when they need to, and they'll quicken things up when it opens up for them. But Rafael Leao is just causing them so many issues because there's an extra Turkish player that has to go across to help Chilik at right back, because he can't cope on his own at this moment. So it's either Atkin or Kirkçu or Çalhanoğlu has to go across and help.
Zeki Chilik has been penalised. Free kick taken quickly, and trying to get on the overlap this time was Mendes inside the penalty area. He's done well because he's still managed to keep possession of the ball. Closed down this time by Samet Akaydon, and they get it away only as far as Yilmaz, who then loses out once more, and it's Pepe who has possession 7 or 8 yards inside the Turkish half. And then Vitinha, who just quietly, busily goes about just running the game from the centre of that midfield for Portugal. In the opening game, it was 59 high intensity passes he completed, more than Toni Kroos had done. He was second in the match day one statistics, but Vitinha very much the heartbeat of this Portuguese side, and I'd probably echo what was said of his time at Wolves. I think we all thought he may well be one of those Portuguese players who flatters to deceive at times, but boy has he grown into something very special in the Liga Team of the Year.
Yeah, and he's controlling the game here as well. He'll drop deep, he'll push forwards. They're finding it hard, Turkey, because it's so difficult when you're in your shape, but then all of a sudden a Cancelo pops up in a position you're not ready for, or if he's not there, then all of a sudden Mendes goes bursting through the middle rather than on the outside. And Vitinha and Bernardo Silva just aren't staying in those positions. So who do you pick up, or do you stay rigid in your shape?
They probably are the most Man City-esque side, aren't they, of all that we've seen potentially so far in this tournament, in terms of just the fact that you never know who's going to pop up where, and they do move the ball around so beautifully without maybe the familiarity that you see from a club side like City. Well, that's a good foot in this time on this right hand side by Cancelo. He's got Cristiano Ronaldo ahead of him, who started to make a run to his right. Cancelo went there. Oh my word! That's cleared off the line, was it? No, it's crossed the line. Who sent it to goal? It's more calamities at the back for Turkey. And Samet Agaydon, a massive mix-up between Altay Bayındır and him, and Portugal double their advantage. The goal decision system signalling the ball had crossed the line, and on 28 minutes it's Turkey 0, Portugal 2, and the Turks really have lost their heads here.
Oh no, what a disaster this is. They thought they were going to have a free kick. It was a mix-up between Cancelo and Cristiano Ronaldo. It was a simple pass back, but what on earth is Agaydon thinking there? He has a look as well. He must see the goalkeeper Bayındır coming out of his goal. He just passes it back blind in the end. Doesn't look that last time. The goalkeeper's out of position. He's trying his best to get back, as is Çelik. Tries to get it off the line, but it's too late. What an absolute calamity that is for Turkey.
I'd also say that's probably saved João Cancelo from a bit of a roasting from Cristiano Ronaldo, because I think it was about to come after he wasn't happy at the pass being played to the right when Cristiano Ronaldo had stopped his run. Yet another own goal at these Euros. Extraordinary. Almost half an hour on the clock. You're listening to Euro Game Day live on TalkSport, and it's Turkey 0, Portugal 2, and the Turks doing themselves absolutely no favours here with such calamitous defending as we've just witnessed.
Incredible, isn't it? They've been under pressure, of course they had, but that's what pressure can do.
That's better. Artukurlo gets it across inside the penalty area, and 7 or 8 Portuguese shirts all watch and leave it to Vitinha to clear from the edge of the penalty area. Not the best of clearances from him this time, and well, how are Turkey going to respond here to scoring the 6th own goal of Euro 2024?
Difficult, very, very difficult. Now 2 goals down.
And the charge again. Artukurlo inside the box. He's done brilliantly. Shoots low to the right. Just tried to nick it inside the post, and it brought the first save really from Diogo Costa in this game. That's brilliant, and they've won themselves a corner.
Excellent wing play, wasn't it, from Artukurlo? Just stood up Cancelo, and then all of a sudden a little double touch just to split Cancelo and Bernardo Silva. A great save.
Here's the corner, swung towards the back post, flicked off the head of Palhinha, and out for another corner, this time coming from the right-hand side for Turkey.
I think if Artukurlo had his time again, would he try and arc that towards the far post? Because actually, Diogo Costa was ready at the near post with his feet to clear. I think if he goes for that far post, curling it, he would have had a better chance.
Trying to spark Turkey into some kind of life here. They silenced a large portion of the crowd in Dortmund. And as we say, 15,000 Portuguese supporters in. They are the ones banging the drums and waving the flags right now. 2 up, 31 minutes on the clock. Here's the corner from the right. Yunus Akgün is the one that's going to deliver it short towards the near post, and the shot is driven and blocked by Ronaldo. Kurti was the one who got the shot away, and Ronaldo back doing defensive duties, something many would say he doesn't do too often, but on this occasion he was there with an important block.
Yeah, he was. He tried to work it low into the near post and flick it on, and then ricocheted into the path of Kurti, tried to swivel and shoot. Ronaldo was just there after doing his near post defensive duties, just turned and made the block. That would have been a fantastic response, wouldn't it, if Artukurlo could have put that away.
But also for the game, I think it would have been a massive lift at that point. And that's poor this time from Costa, who clears straight into touch on this near side, and it will be a throw-in again, this time for Turkey, midway inside the Portuguese half. bizarre we're seeing so many own goals, isn't it? That's 6 now.
Yeah, again, I have to go back to the pressure of these tournaments, the pressure of playing, representing your country in these tournaments, what it can do to the concentration, to the players themselves. I always think with those sort of goals as well, did the pace on that pass back towards the goalkeeper need to be like that? I don't think it did.
He was so good as well against Georgia. He literally didn't put a foot wrong. But again, it's a different kettle of fish when they're trying to defend against the movement and the trickery of some of these Portuguese superstars, that's for sure. The captain maybe needs to get his foot on the ball and influence the game a little more. Chanhanolo has just done that brilliantly, gets it forward this time. More central area for Ihun. And again, they'll just keep possession for a few moments. Here's Badajay. Swings a ball into the box looking for Yilmaz. Just too much on it. He's been tracked all the way by Mendes. And it's out of play. And that will be a goal kick for Portugal. The record at the Euros, reliably told, is 11 own goals at Euro 2020. So we're not halfway through the tour. So maybe actually it feels like there's more, but about halfway in the tournament, we're kind of at half the total from Euro 2020.
Yeah. Like I said, it's awful, isn't it, for any player as well to have that. You know, you think now of Akaidon, how he must be feeling after that mistake.
It is only the second own goal from outside the box, which probably doesn't come as a great surprise in Euro history. That was after Pedri in the game between Croatia and Spain in Euro 2020. Here come Turkey again towards the edge of the penalty area. Just tried to spin on it there, Artukolo, and almost between him and Akgün, they almost got a shooting opportunity.
Yeah, it was all a little bit too intricate in the end. A couple of times I think it was there to have the strike from the edge of the area. First of all, Akgün, excellent positioning to receive the wrong side of Mendes, and as Artukolo took it off him, just over elaborate.
Cleared away down this right-hand touchline for Portugal. They lead here 2-0. You're listening to Euro Game Day live on TalkSport. Cancelo into Fernandes, takes in his stride, gets the shot away, but it's wayward. He wanted to take in his stride. It was perhaps, with his first touch, just a little bit behind him and away to the right-hand side.
Yeah, again, that positioning from Cancelo is so difficult to defend against. He gets himself free, he plays it down the side for Fernandes' run down the right-hand side of the penalty area. And it needed to be played first time if it was going to go to Ronaldo. And in the end, he took the touch and wildly slashed it wide.
Ronaldo Silva cutting in here inside the box. Diaz is on the underlap this time, has done well. It has to be cleared away from inside the penalty area once more by Kaan Ayhan, who does get it away and into touch on this near side, and it will be a throw for Cancelo again.
Well, again, he's probably checking his shoulder thinking, Ruben Diaz, why is he up here? But again, Cancelo tucked in. Ruben Diaz made an underlapping run after he played the ball through. He just followed it. Needs to be defended again. Portugal well on top now.
A bit of inspiration maybe from the way Guardiola was playing at the end of the season for Manchester City. So comfortable in possession, Polina down this right-hand side. What a ball that is. Picks out Bernardo Silva, who's in acres of space, cutting in on that left foot of his towards the edge of the penalty area. Plays it across to Ronaldo. Ronaldo, edge of the penalty area, on his right foot with a shot just over the bar. Boy, does that man want a goal. You can tell he does. He loves them. He breathes them. He eats them for breakfast. This time, though, it's over the bar.
Yeah, again, the ball out towards Bernardo Silva. How often have we seen him control that with the outside of his left foot? It just comes across. Foot like a temper pillow, just takes it down, plays it across to Ronaldo. Mendes with a great overlapping run once again. That's so important because it meant Ronaldo could check inside on his right foot, looking for that far corner just over the top. He expects better from himself, the standards he sets.
He does. His 130 goals have come against 47 countries. He's looking to make it 48 as he's not managed one against Turkey. A rash challenge from Bernardo Silva there, as if maybe they were a little bit short here again. Artukolo on this left-hand side for Turkey. Cuts that one back towards the edge of the box where he's looking for Orkun Kökçü. Couldn't get the shot away, and in the end the foul is given against Vitinha, and it will be a free kick 7 or 8 yards outside the penalty area for Portugal.
Artukolo, brilliant to start with to get away from Cancelo, and then I tell you what, fair play to him. He could easily have gone down and Paulinho would have had his yellow card that we were talking about, and then he gets his head up, looks for Kökçü, and who was there reading it with his, as if he's had a monocle on there, Pepe, with a pipe, and just stepped out like it was the easiest thing in the world just to read that cross. That was brilliant defending.
Is he playing with slippers or football?
No, he's got the steel toe caps on.
You're listening to Euro Game Day live on TalkSport, presented by Burger King. Bring home the ultimate food satisfaction. Get your favourites delivered now. We are 7 minutes away from half-time in what's been a truly terrific game in Dortmund. Turkey 0, Portugal 2 as things stand. And there's been some wonderful attacking play here from Portugal, and at times from Turkey too, but they've not been rewarded. As here come Turkey again, Mendes, and now down that left-hand side we're going to see a yellow card, I think, as well. Here the referee immediately going to his pocket, and it's I think he's called it for a dive, and it is a dive by Rafael Leao, who also was booked in the first game, and if that is a booking for him, which I believe it is, he's going to miss the final group game as well.
Yeah. And actually, yes, the challenge was there from Makaydon sliding in, but then there wasn't the contact, and then Rafael Leao took another step before his legs went from underneath him, and I'm afraid the referee is absolutely right.
He is a good spot from Felix Bayer, and certainly Roberto Martinez is having a full explanation from the fourth official down below on the touchline. He's making his point back. He's not just accepting what's being said, but I think if he sees the replay, he can't really argue with that one.
No, and the issue is the taking the step before your legs go away. I'm afraid it's something he has to look at himself. He can't.
Well, he does, because both of his yellow cards have been for simulation.
Absolutely, he's going to miss a game. You don't know how this game is going to turn out. Obviously, from a Portuguese perspective, they hope they win the game, but still, going forwards, you don't want to be missing any games for something like that.
Heading towards the final 5 minutes of the first half. A reminder, once we are done here, big game for Belgium tonight. They lost that game, of course, against Slovakia. Romania, their opponents, who had that stunning match day 1 victory. All to play for tonight. That game live. The build-up from 7 o'clock, kick-off 8 o'clock UK time. Nigel Adley will be guiding you through that one a little bit later on here on TalkSport. Oh, lovely bit of play now. An opportunity for Turkey maybe. Towards the edge of the penalty area, the shot comes in from Gerchi again. Low down to his right-hand side. Diogo Costa makes the save. I mean, it was a shot, and it was potentially just about on target. Well, maybe sneaking wide anyway, but at least that forced Costa into a save again.
Wrong decision though, I'm afraid. He was brilliantly won back by Chanalolu in that midfield area off Coutinho, and just laid it in, and they were away at that back line, and he just needed to pick the right pass there. Altokolu had made a great run just behind him. He could have lent that off, he could have played in Yilmaz down the side. Instead he tried to shoot, he was off balance, and it wasn't the greatest strike, an easy save in the end. But those are the moments really against the top side you have to try and be clinical,
particularly when you're 2 down. There was a route back into the game for Turkey. They are working hard, but you just know that threat that's available from these outstanding Portuguese forwards, and well, at times defenders as well, as they sneak forward, is always a risk of a goal and a threat there. And that's another poor little pass, and it has to be protected by Cardiolo. He's done actually brilliantly to keep that ball, then tries to go down that right hand side and set Atkin away, and he was helped out at the time as well by Chile, and that's going to be a yellow card for the challenge. And there's rage, absolute rage here for Makaydon. Referee showing him the yellow card, absolutely furious with the decision. He's already got an own goal to his name in this match, and now a booking too.
Well, very much like his centre-back partner, but action, we've got a yellow card for his studs high, but this is such a great challenge. It's a brilliant challenge from Makaydon to win the ball. Yes, there's going to be contact, of course there is, on Leao. They're going at full pace, and he has to be full-blooded in the challenge. He can't believe it, and Celik as well gets himself a yellow card for his protests, which is certainly not allowed in this tournament, trying to crack down on that.
Well, the shame of it all there is we just praise the referee for the decision he made in terms of booking Leao for his what he spotted. He's just punished a really, really good football challenge, hasn't he?
Yeah, that is you know, heading in towards the area of a non-contact type of sport, those sort of challenges. It was a brilliant challenge.
Free kick for Portugal, which Fernandes is over. Bernardo Silva's over it too, out wide on that left-hand side. It'll be the left foot of Bernardo Silva who swings it, and Pepe gets it across goal, but he was offside, and it will be a free kick for Turkey inside that own penalty area. And for a moment, things just not calm in that Turkey side. Confirmation as well of that yellow card for Celik, as Dean was saying, for his protest. Quite lucky really in the end. There was a bit of arguing going on from Akaidon, and we did see a few times throughout the season a second yellow card being brandished immediately. We're not too far away from that in that instance. He's got to be careful now, as he in fact of 3 of the back 4 for Turkey. Guardiola off the angle of the penalty area down this left-hand side, tries to play a little 1-2 inside the penalty area with Arcticurlo, who goes in with a challenge on Silva, and again it's another free kick that goes Portugal's way, and again the referee being spoken to, as he's allowed to by the skipper Gianello, who watches on. I mean, in the end it's a soft free kick, but he makes no attempt with the ball really. It is a free kick, isn't it?
I mean, it's a glancing blow, I would say, on Bernardo Silva's ankle, and then he's just gone down. You know, it's you're waiting for the slightest touch. You're waiting for a forward to sort of just be too anxious to win the ball, and you're always going to get that free kick, as right or wrong as should be.
From Turkey again, acting through the middle. He's tripped there by Polina, and well, there we have it. Polina's gone into the book now. That's his yellow card for this game. As we approach halfway, and well, there's some happiness amongst the Turkish crowd, that's for sure.
He was jealous, wasn't he, Paulinho? Saw all of that yellow being dished out and said, "It's not fair, I want some."
If you're someone who likes to bet on yellow cards, he does make life easy for you in terms of winning, for sure. Turkey clip a ball into the edge of the penalty area. Atkin with a chance to get a shot away, controlled the ball nicely after it was nodded down into his path by Badache, but now the counter's on down the left-hand side. Leao's got support, and it comes from Cristiano Ronaldo, who's hugging the far touchline. We're into the minute of added time at the end of this first half, but the counter has lost the head of steam that it had for a moment, and now just keep the ball instead around halfway quite comfortably.
Turkey have had their moments, there's no doubt. A couple of opportunities, Actocolo especially, the one that was 2 or 3 yards out that he went with the wrong foot with, stands out. They've had their moments, they've lacked that real quality that we saw from them in the first game.
Reminder, this time tomorrow here on TalkSport we were building up to the crucial game for Scotland against Hungary in Stuttgart. Special live show from Dusseldorf. Adrian will be alongside Darren Bent for that one ahead of live commentary. And that's the end of the opening 45 minutes, and what a 45 minutes it's been. Felix Feyer, the referee, has certainly played his part. Portugal in front courtesy of a first goal in a major tournament for Bernardo Silva. A terrific finish from him. The second coming courtesy of some really awful Keystone Cops defending between Samet Akaidon and his keeper Altay Bayundush. That made it 2-0 to Portugal. Turkey have had their chances, they've had opportunities, but they've not managed to find the back of the net yet. A few players are missing the group game third time round courtesy of 2 yellow cards so far in the competition, and there's the boos from the Turkish supporting fans inside the stadium for the referee as he departs. But half-time in Dortmund, it's Turkey 0, Portugal 2. Thank you very much, Adrian. Yeah, a couple of changes for Portugal. It's the 2 players that were yellow carded, funnily enough, in the first half that are departing. And that means we are seeing the introduction of Pedro Neto of course, from Wolves, who'll come on wide on the left-hand side. And the introduction of Ruben Neves, another Wolves connection there, of course, former Wolves player. He's come on into central midfield. And we've also seen the departure of Orkun Kürçü, who's gone for Turkey, to be replaced by Yusuf Yazıcı as well. So they are the changes made, 2 for Portugal, 1 for Turkey, which means both the centre halves and, of course, Çelik, the right back, who are on yellow cards, they survived for this Turkish side. And we're about to get the second half underway. Turkey kicking from left to right in this second 45 minutes. I'll run you through the two teams in a moment or two. Our referee is about to get us underway. Not the most popular man in the BVB Stadion in Dortmund tonight, that's for sure. However, as Adrian quite rightly pointed out, it wasn't him who scored the own goal, that's for sure. But 2-0, Portugal lead then, and cruising their way into the knockout stages of Euro 2024. Right on the right hand side, first touch for, this time, Çelik at the opening moments of the second half. Mendes with the challenge and puts the ball out of play for a Turkey throw on halfway. Bayındır is in goal, Cardiolo, Barace, Akaydon and Çelik across the back. Ayhan alongside Çalhanoğlu, and then Yazıcı, the other midfielder now. Artukurlo, Akgün are the wide players, and Yilmaz up front for Turkey. As for Portugal, Costa's in goal, it's Cancelo, Diaz, Pepe and Mendes across the back. In midfield, it's Fernandes, Neves and Vitinha now, and then Silva, Ronaldo and Neto are the front three for Portugal. Good to see Pedro Neto out there in a international jersey again. Of course, all of his injury woes. He made a sub-appearance against Slovakia back in September. That was his first since 2021. Missed, of course, the World Cup in 2022 courtesy of injury. 24 games he played for Wolves this season. Again, more injury woes, but when he did play, he was electric at times.
Yeah, he was, and made a real difference actually in that first game. It was his cross that fell fortunately for Conceição, and I think it's the right decision actually, because if you're going to miss Leao for the third game, why not give possibly a Neto an opportunity to have 45 minutes in that role if he might play in the third game. And obviously Paulinho on the yellow, no need to take a risk.
Guardiola down that left-hand side, looking to just try and run the ball into the substitute inside the penalty area. Yazıcı, and Pepe's put it out of play. He's not happy about the fact that the referee feels it's gone out of play, but it will be a corner. Definitely he did touch it last though.
Yeah, he did. He wanted to let it run out, but Yazıcı was just quick enough, I think, to have kept it in.
Çalhanoğlu will be the one who will deliver this corner in right-footed into that 6-yard area where Ruben Diaz goes up and wins a towering header. It comes out on this near side for Cardiolo again, who charged towards the centre of the midfield. Just gets some support this time by Artukurlo, and it's given away, and the charge was on that time for Fernandes, who couldn't quite get there. Quality of the pass maybe not quite as he wanted.
First real mistake from Vitinha in terms of that pass, and Bruno Fernandes, one of those players, just hasn't got the pace really if it's not close enough to him.
Neto finds Cancelo wide on that far side, and continues well. That's a brilliant bit of skill from Cancelo. Gets it through towards Cristiano Ronaldo, who's just tackled and edged out of it. And it's picked up by Yazıcı again in the middle of the park, and now they'll try and clear from the back, and a little bit of pressure on Bayındır as he gets the way down this right-hand side for Zeki Çelik, who's done really well. Nice interchange between him and Akgün, and then just can't quite control the pass. Frustrated as he slaps his thighs in fury, and Ruben Neves picks it up. Of course, Neves, formerly of Wolves, now playing his trade in Saudi Arabia, Al Hilal. Made a couple of starts in qualifying out of his 8 appearances, but has not certainly been a regular starter under Roberto Martinez. And there's another little poor pass back towards Pepe, who almost lost out to Yilmaz, but he just about had the wherewithal to deal with that.
Yeah, just about stretching to get there. And just on Turkey's substitution, Yazıcı, I think maybe just a bit more pace, a bit more ability to run beyond Yilmaz or get alongside him. Kürçü very much more a ball-playing 10, whereas Yuzuju will look to run in behind.
Down that right-hand side, trying to get forward is Pedro Neto for Portugal, midway inside the Turkish half. Here's Ruben Neves, goes to Pepe, now to Mendes down this left-hand side, controlled by Cristiano Ronaldo, back to Mendes again, and then Bernardo Silva steps in and goes all the way to Costa, away to our right-hand side. Big one that for Bernardo Silva. I think we're all quite surprised he hasn't scored in a major tournament up till now. 15 appearances, over 900 minutes, and one of the keys there, of course, he's the first Man City player to score past a Manchester United goalkeeper in Euro history as well. So a bit of rivalry between the Reds and the Blues in Manchester for that one. Neves on halfway as they look to build on this 2-goal advantage that Portugal have here. Euro Game Day Live on Talk Sport. Reminder, another game still to come tonight. Belgium against Romania. Promises to be a real belter. We have that for you. Kick off 8 o'clock this evening here on Talk Sport. Third of 3 games today. And what we're going to do throughout the day tomorrow, apart from build up, of course, to Scotland in action tomorrow night. Lovely ball slipped down the right-hand side. Early ball across the edge of the 6-yard box. Comes back towards Neto, who tries to tee it up for Fernandes. Fernandes can't quite get his shot away, though. And it's half cleared for Turkey, but only as far as Ruben Diaz. Wide on that right-hand side is Bernardo Silva. Here they come again, Portugal, but they also do just take a moment to take the sting and the energy out of the game and just play at their own pace.
Yeah, I mean, they're so in control, aren't they? There's no rush, but when the opportunity arises, they look to play quickly. They look to get the third goal. It's down to Turkey to try and force the issue, as hard as that is, and knowing you might leave gaps, you've got to try and press a little bit higher and not just allow the likes of Pepe and Neves and Diaz just to keep popping it around.
João Cancelo has won his side a corner on that right-hand side. 6.5 minutes into the second half. Turkey 0, Portugal 2. It was Cancelo's ball that was picked up by Neto at the post just a moment ago, and again Fernandes trying to get there, but I said that against Georgia that Guidon was defensively sound. He scored that own goal today, but it was an important intervention from him at the start of the second half to stop Portugal going further ahead. Here comes the corner from the right-hand side, flung over. Ronaldo gets up against the header, but actually heads it away from goal out to Vitinha in the end, who's got support down that right-hand side. Lovely ball to the byline, is cut back this time by Bruno Fernandes, and it will be cleared away this time for Turkey on that right. But Pepe's in there again, still trying to win the ball back for this Portuguese side. They may be 2 up, but the desire and the chasing and the harrying and the running and the tackling is still as strong as ever from Portugal. The press hasn't quite worked this time, though, as Artucolo tries to get that ball forward to Atkun. It's chested down in the middle of the park this time by Chile. And now here's a chance for the substitute Yuzuju. Down this right-hand side, gives it to Atkun again. Back to Yuzuju once more. 25 yards from goal on the left, but he bends one in it. Just bounces awkwardly, but safely up into the arms of Diogo Costa in the centre of the goal.
Speculative effort, wasn't it, from Yuzuju? I think the only issue for Diogo Costa there was that actually Yilmaz was running across the line of the ball and he wasn't sure whether the forward would get a touch, so just let it run and skip off the surface before claiming. So a bit of a late reaction, but still a comfortable save.
They come again. Yilmaz gets it across towards the edge of the penalty area, and it's a good foot in on that right-hand side this time from João Cancelo, who hasn't really had much to do defensively in this game, but appeared just at the right moment then to deny Ayhan, who was going to try and get a shot away for sure. Turkey have possession inside their own half. Forward towards Yilmaz. It was absolutely thundered towards him. He controlled it on his thigh, but it bounced away out of his control, and Ruben Neves will pick it up again down the right-hand side.
I think if they are going to get some joy, Turkey, it has to be in those wide areas. It has to be the fullbacks, I think, that take the risk to try and get forwards and outnumber Cancelo and Mendes out wide. They got a bit of joy in the first half through that method.
Would it be cruel of me to say that defending is probably not Cancelo's strongest suit? I think
think he wants to attack more, and I think he finds it easier to get into positions to receive a pass. When he does that, if you lose the ball, he is going to be out of position.
Certainly Articolo has had some joy against him in the first half. A bit more of that in the second would be good, that's for sure. There's a foul on Vitinha. Vincenzo Montella, not a happy man, as you wouldn't be with your team 2 down, but felt that Vitinha's probably made the most of that challenge. Just trying to see if he did get clipped by anyone or actually hit the ground himself.
Yeah, just felt a little touch again, like Bernardo Silva in the first half. You tend to get those, you really do.
One pump forward from the left-back area by Mendes. It's a cross-field ball to that right-hand side. Oh, that's going to run through to Cristiano Ronaldo, who's onside. Ronaldo with a chance to finish, gives it to Bruno Fernandes, and it's 3-0 to Portugal. Fernandes on target, and unselfish is the word you would describe Cristiano Ronaldo then. Surely he could have finished and got that goal against Turkey that he craves, but instead he finds Bruno Fernandes, who has his 23rd goal in a Portuguese shirt, and it's Turkey 0, Portugal 3.
Well, it goes against every part of his DNA to pass this to his teammate Bruno Fernandes. Cristiano Ronaldo, he's through 1v1, you can see him just out the corner of his eye. It's Cheshlik that keeps him onside, and you know he wants to score, and he fakes to shoot and passes it across to Bruno Fernandes, who just simply taps home the 3rd goal. Well played, Cristiano Ronaldo. Absolutely the right thing to do. Captain's armband on. 3rd goal tucked away.
I'm literally speechless. I'm astonished at what I have just witnessed. For everything that we and everybody else says, I mean, look, we were discussing it at half-time around the own goal that Turkey scored. The fact that Portugal are on 2 up was irrelevant to Cristiano Ronaldo, because he was still raging about the pass that he didn't get from Cancelo, and then we see that.
His face is a picture, honestly, after the goal. Almost pouts his lips as if to say, yes lads, I am capable of doing the right thing when it matters, and that was all down to me. Still, but inside he will just be thinking, oh, why didn't I just take it myself? 2-0 up.
Well, he is of course looking to score at a 6 Euros, having scored at the last 5, of course. I mean, it was interesting reading in the build-up to the game today that the 2 teenagers that were so impressive last time out for Turkey, Arda Güler's got that slight injury as well, and Kenan Yıldız, who both aren't in the starting lineup today. When Ronaldo scored at his first Euros, they hadn't even been born, which I think sums it all up. Well, maybe it's one for the critics, that, to just shut them up a little bit from Cristiano Ronaldo. 10th assist at the Euros for him, together with his 14 goals. It's not a bad old contribution over the years, really, is it?
No, and actually, defensively there, I mean, Cheshlik is just such poor defending from the right back. His 2 centre-backs step up brilliantly in a perfect line to catch Ronaldo offside, and he's behind the full-back.
Yeah, I mean, you'll be able to analyse this far better than I ever would. In terms of the way he's just bent that run as well. I mean, it's classic, isn't it?
It is, because he's trying to obviously keep himself onside, but he's not. And the centre-backs have caught him out. He's lucky that the right-back is completely sleeping.
Here they come down the right-hand side again. Atkin this time playing that ball in. Tries to get it over. A couple of changes as well here for Turkey. We have seen the departure of Articolo, who's the most dangerous. He's been replaced by Kenan Yıldız, one of the teenagers that we were talking about. And we've also seen the introduction of Ismail Yüksek as well. He's come on to replace Ayhan in midfield too. So a couple more changes for Turkey then. 3-0 Portugal lead. They have a corner down the right-hand side though, and it's drilled in low towards the near post, and there's a foul. Ronaldo is the player that is fouled inside that penalty area, and the free kick goes the way of Portugal. You were listening to Euro Game Day Live on TalkSport, presented by Carling, the UK's #1 lager, 18+. Please drink responsibly.
Well, it's good to see Indus come on, the 19-year-old on the left-hand side. I was impressed with him in the first game. Probably feels like the game has gone, of course, but still, just don't know with goal difference and making sure that you try and finish the game going into the next one.
Here's a Duke, tries the shot from the edge of the penalty area, left-hand side. Well blocked for Portugal, here they come. And you've got a feeling this could turn into a real rout if they're not careful here. Fernandes gets it out to this left-hand side. Neto inside the penalty area. Left-footed clip towards the back post. Nodded across towards Ronaldo at the edge of the 6-yard box that time by Bernardo Silva. Now up in the air, and it's a high up and under. But wouldn't be out of place up at Murrayfield. That was right-footed. It's pulled back by Fernandes, but then the offside flag goes up. And that will be a free kick to Turkey. Hour played. You're listening to Euro Game Day live on TalkSport, where it's Turkey 0, Portugal 3.
And again, when they get it wide, the first thought is to get that in the area. Neto just standing one up. Bernardo Silva looking to head it back towards Cristiano Ronaldo, but both the centre-backs just sandwiched him in the penalty area. There was no way they were going to allow him to get a free leap at that header.
Well, you know, they say lies, damn lies and statistics. Well, at the moment, both teams have had 3 shots on target in this game, and yet it's 3-0 to Portugal as things stand. Him only had 2 more attempts at goal, more than what Turkey have. Funny old game of football, really, isn't it? Half an hour to go. Throw by Ronaldo down this right-hand side. Neves just helps on his way to Vitinha, out wide to the right-hand side as they advance deeper into Turkey territory, about 35 yards from goal. Now on that right-hand side, Bernardo Silva, giving it short this time to João Cancelo. Back to Bernardo Silva. And now with Diaz, Vitinha. To the right is Silva hugging the touchline. Now we'll go back towards halfway, and again they will show their patience. They'll bring Pepe into the game at the edge of the centre circle, and now Mendes down this left-hand side for Portugal. Neto towards Mendes, he's caught from behind that time, and Cilic needs to be careful. He was booked in that first half for his protesting, of course, and he just sticks out the boot to the right ankle of Mendes. Dangerous signs at times. Portugal have it with Vitinha. Terrific noise inside the stadium. And again, there's another foul. This time on Bruno Fernandes. It's the captain this time round with the challenge. Hakan Çalhanoğlu, and he was booked in the first game as well. So he is walking a bit of a tightrope here for Turkey.
Well, it's trying to strike that balance of obviously sheer frustration, but still trying to end the game in a positive way with real energy. The way they close down Portugal and not just allow them to pass the ball around for the rest of the game. But like you said, you don't then want to miss the third game, which
This is crucial for them now.
is going to feel absolutely crucial. They're already missing one of their centre-backs for the game.
And the thing is, with Portugal through, I mean, the one thing what you would say about the Czech side is, obviously they were outplayed for long periods against Portugal, but as we've seen from Czech sides in the past in these tournaments, they can then just suddenly find a little bit of form, and they can get a striker who just goes on a bit of a roll, and if they could get to the 4 points and get themselves through, then they'll be a dangerous team in the round of 16.
Yeah.
There's a chance maybe, but the shot is over this time for Yildiz. Just broke to him towards the edge of the penalty area on his right foot. I think maybe he had a little bit of his fellow teenager there, Arda Güler, at what he achieved against Georgia, and thought he may try the same, but not quite as successfully.
Oh, but it was there to be hit. The space opened up, nobody closed him down. He had the time to get the strike on the target. Just made a bit of a mess of it, the young man.
Don't forget tomorrow night, Scotland against Hungary. What a huge game for the Scots in Stuttgart. Live right here on TalkSport. Build up from 4 in a special drive with Adrian and Darren Bent tomorrow. And then of course Hugh and Chris Llewellyn, the former Scotland striker, will be alongside Joe Shannon in the stadium to bring you what is a huge game for Scotland. And they find their way into the round of 16. As Adrian mentioned at half-time, they currently sit bottom of the 6 potential qualifiers as things stand. But there's work to be done, that's for sure. Here Turkey have it on halfway, down this right-hand side. Short to Çelik and then back inside to Yüzücü. Now they'll switch play to the left, and Guardiola, who's maybe one of the more consistent Turkish players across both of their fixtures so far. End of the park, it's a chance for the first time. You accept to get it forward now down that right-hand side, courtesy of Akaida, keeping the ball nicely. Probably the longest they've had the ball in this game, I would say.
Yeah, but Portugal showing again they're still able to make it difficult for you defensively in terms of that shape that they've got, nice and compact and solid.
Well, the charge is Atkin down this near side. Çelik gets the ball across, dangerous one into the 6-yard box. But who else? Who else is there but Pepe, reading the game perfectly again and getting the ball clear to Pedro Neto.
Just halfway through his book, isn't it? Sat in his library there, Pepe. Very calm and quiet afternoon. Read the game, honestly. It just shows, doesn't it?
Bernardo Silva down the right-hand side with a crossover. Ronaldo with a header, always put it sideways. Edge of the 6-yard box. That familiar sight of him leaping into the air. The only thing you expected was to see the net bulge, but instead he's headed this one sideways.
Yeah, again, brilliant run by Bernardo Silva down the side. Guardiola lifts it up. Ronaldo's there, he just mistimes it. Simple as that. Completely, he's up too early. He thinks the ball's there to be headed, so he goes in that familiar leap of his, and then the ball's got a little bit of curl on it, just curls away from him at the last second. And like you said, sideways header, nowhere near the goal.
Yeah, as I was looking, I was hoping you were going to say he's just gone up a bit too early, hasn't he?
No, he had, but also there was a tiny bit of curl on the cross from Bernardo Silva that maybe he hadn't read.
Didn't quite go at Bernardo Silva like he did Cancelo in the first half. Yilmaz tries to get a flick onto that inside the penalty area. He wants a penalty. There was a bouncing ball into the box. It was a lovely curling ball. And Yilmaz just tried to get his head on it. I think he was more interested in hitting the deck and trying to get a penalty for his side.
But also, Ruben Diaz just gives him the tiniest of shoves, just as he's about to try and head it. Little elbow in the back, not enough for it to look like a penalty, but enough just to put you off as a striker. It was actually clever defending that from Ruben Diaz.
We get the dissection of England's performance against Denmark. I'm not sure if it's quite finished yet, but we'll be building up to the final group game. You'll get that on Tuesday night here on TalkSport, of course. A bumper day of action for you on Tuesday with two groups finishing 5 o'clock kickoffs and 8 o'clock kickoffs. Games on both TalkSport and TalkSport 2 as well, as this feast of football continues throughout what's left of June and through the middle of July. We're not even halfway there yet, people. How good has it been so far? We were talking in that first half about own goals as well, of course. Just trying to work out, having had 6 already, where that kind of stands in the pantheon of major championships, when the history of the World Cup and European Championships, only the 2018 World Cup and the Euros have seen more own goals than Euro 2024. On our monitors getting a replay, of course, of Yilmaz as he goes to the ground under that challenge from Diaz. In the stadium again, the referee just asserting his authority on this game. Felix Weah has another change here, the introduction of Nelson Semedo for Portugal, on for João Cancelo, straight swap at right back, as again Roberto Martinez just freshening things up for his side, comfortably in front by 3 goals to 0. But we are going to see Arda Güler, who's ready to come on. So I'm not too sure how bad that muscle injury is that they are protecting him from, but they've decided he's going to get 20 minutes today, as that's played down that right-hand side by Neves, trying to set in Semedo, of course, another former colleague at Wolves of Ruben Neves, but he commits the foul, and that's going to be a free kick for Turkey.
Yeah, and you just wonder, you wouldn't like to think it necessarily, but could be to protect the young players. Of course it can, in the difficulty of these tournaments, the pressure that comes with that. Of course, for Arda Güler, who comes on for Ahgood on the side, because that final game is clearly going to be vital, and they both come on, you'd expect them to start that last game.
You would think so, given the impact they had in that opening game, of course. Ardagula at 19 years and 114 days, as he was the youngest player to score in his tournament debut. Just the third teenager to do it as well. Bene back in 1964 managed to do it for Hungary, and the other, of course, was back in 2004, and he's out on the pitch today, desperately searching out a goal, but not selfishly, you could say. Semedo on that right-hand side trying to get forward, but he just probably had too much time while it was bouncing in the air and ended up losing possession. He's not the paciest of players, Semedo, as you see week in, week out at Molineux. And he's out there getting another cap, his 32nd today. Didn't appear at the 2018 or 2022 World Cups. He was named in the provisional squad but then left out under Roberto Martinez. He's definitely one of his squad. He's punted forward this time by Costa and in the arms away to our left-hand side of Branch.
Well, the two teenagers are on. Are we going to see a electric finish from Turkey in the last 20 or so minutes? I was hoping to see them from the start, but they've got their opportunity.
On this right-hand side they come again with Cilic, but the press is decent this time from Neto, just keeping Turkey hemmed inside their own half. Yilmaz has possession on this near side. On the touchline is Ardagula, just trying to get into the game to start with. And he wins a side of throw immediately on this near touchline. Are we sure he's 19? It looks very young to me. Down this near side. Gula again has possession. Just goes short infield to Yüzücü. The substitutes combine, but now Portugal try and break away. Yüzücü will get it back though. Vitinha's there and will be penalised for the foul on Vitinha. And he goes to ground holding that left ankle of his.
Again, just lunging in slightly there. Yüzücü gets the ball, but takes the man at the same time. Referee gives a free kick. With every one of those free kicks, it just saps the time, saps the momentum. Portugal can just keep control again.
And they can, for sure. Our record against Portugal is not the best, and that ball run's going to continue as this time Pedro Neto still goes down the left-hand side. Neto, Ronaldo wants it in the middle as he tries to cross from the left edge of the penalty area. He goes for a second time in towards Ronaldo. Semedo arrives as well, but it's cleared away as far as Vitinha. He'll go back in once more with Neves, and then Diaz on that right-hand side to Bernardo Silva.
Well, again, Ronaldo was hilarious there, as Neto first of all tried to play that ball down the side of the centre-back for Ronaldo. Got cut out. Ronaldo throws his arms up in the air and almost misses out on the chance as Neto then regains possession and is looking to cross. He then tries to get back into position. That's then cut out. The third cross is cut out, and then he can throw his arms once again. But he almost missed out on a chance there, simply because he was so annoyed.
Gaidon is the player that's down here for Turkey. I'd always be keen just to have a camera on Ronaldo through the entire game, because I think it might be quite entertaining just to watch his entire moves, get that recorded, because that would be quite something to watch. Roberto Martinez still coaching his side from the sidelines. Gives me an opportunity to remind you of what's coming up once we are done here in Dortmund, and it's time for a big game to finish up the night. Our third of our triple header today as Belgium take on Romania. That's going to be the game that gets underway at 8 o'clock UK time. Scott Minto and Nigel Adderley will be guiding you through that one, and that's an 8 o'clock kickoff tonight here on Talk Sport. 73 minutes on the clock. Turkey 0, Portugal 3. Turkey only managed to beat Portugal twice over time. 1955 in Istanbul was the first of those, and their last victory came in Lisbon in 2012. And It's quite interesting about that game. We mentioned that Ronaldo's never scored against Turkey, but he actually missed a penalty in that game. And one of the goals for Turkey came from a Pepe own goal as well. Long conversation right now between Ruben Diaz and Cristiano Ronaldo. And I think that's the last we're going to see of Akaydon, and this could be a real problem for Turkey, bearing in mind that Badiceau's his centre-half partner is suspended for the game against Czechia, and Akaydon looks like he's done something to his ribs here potentially as well, or he's holding his ribs, he's limping, so it's a combination of several issues really.
Yeah, it looks like maybe a side strain perhaps for Akaydon. It's in some discomfort, I have to say, leaving the field. Obviously Demiral is an option who I thought might have started the tournament.
And also without Soyuncu, of course, through injury too, which has limited some of their options at centre-half. But we are going to see the introduction now of Medek Demiral, as you say. He's going to come on at centre-half. Expected change with that injury to Akaydon. That's all the changes that Turkey are able to make tonight. 15 minutes remain. Good night for Portugal. Not such a good night for Akaydon. An own goal and an injury and a yellow card. Doesn't really get much worse for a night, really, does it? Maybe a red, so that would have probably finished the night off in style. A night to forget for him.
I think he's had enough, to be honest.
Yeah, understandable. Quarter of an hour to go. I'll tell you who's not had enough at centre-half is Pepe, who's literally running around like a teenager. In fact, he's been tracked by a teenager in Guler, and he's got the better of him. In fact, Pepe is now on a charge. He's towards the edge of the penalty area. Out wide to this left-hand side with Neto. Ball just gets caught under the feet this time of the substitute on this near side, Demiral, and then away here will come Guler on this near side. No, he won't, because he's stopped in his tracks by Pepe, and the teenager is stopped by someone who is old enough to be his father. Quite comfortable. Not quite grandfather, but
I didn't want to go there.
Brilliant defending though by Pepe.
Oh, absolutely. Again, I talked about it before the game. He hasn't lost any of that aggression in the way that he defends. But there's definitely a smartness to his defending now. The way that he reads the game and steps in, and he has done a couple of times. It's made it look so easy in the way that he's read a couple of those crosses from a Turkish side that could have been dangerous, but he's read it early, and the game is now just plodding along to nothing really.
Just a quick word on Roberto Martinez, because I mean they won their opening two group games in 2000 and 2008 did Portugal. They look like they're going to do the same here, which will already stick them into the round of 16. He's obviously carrying that baggage of being the manager who never quite managed to win a trophy with the golden generation of Belgium. You look through this Portuguese side and you look at the quality in that squad and think the pressure's got to be on him to potentially deliver. We'll come back to that in a moment, because Yilmaz is away down this right-hand side for Turkey. He's forced backwards though on this near touchline by Mendes. Holds the ball up towards the edge of the penalty area. Does well. Now gets it short to Chilik down this right-hand side. Fernandes is doing the defending, and good defending too. Is there pressure on Martinez to deliver with this Portuguese squad?
Oh, of course there is. When you have a squad of players that Portugal have got, of course there's the pressure. I think what's impressed me is that he saw something different in that first game in the way that he played the three, with just Coutinho and Fernandes in midfield, and then today he's changed again, gone with more of a 4-3-3, but the interchanging of the players and actually how solid they've looked defensively still, I think is going to be important for this tournament for Portugal.
Chilik at the byline, tries to get a cross in for Turkey, but again it's blocked out by Vitinha onto this near side.
But I think showing his tactical awareness to be able to change the team and look comfortable in most of the games with those different systems.
The personal CV of Roberto Martinez, with the squad he had at Belgium and Portugal, could do with a trophy on it, that's for sure. Pepe with a header away of this corner was delivered from the right hand side. I mean, I wouldn't want to tempt you into your king performance of the match, but Pepe's got to be in there, hasn't he?
You're trying your best.
Swung over, Pepe again with the header away. You can hear the cheers from the 15,000 Portuguese supporters every time he heads the ball. And there he is again, a third consecutive header away from Pepe inside the penalty area as Turkey try and swing those crosses in. And he is absolutely adored by those Portuguese supporters behind the goal away to the right, where he's currently doing all of his defending. Here's Yıldız on that far side for Turkey as they try to get the ball into the box again. Cardiolo this time on a charge into the penalty area, goes down by Semedo, delivered across and controlled by Vitinha, who then will just try and bring it clear by dribbling outside his own penalty area, gives the ball away inside the box this time, and it has to be helped and cleared by Ruben Neves that time. And I'm not sure if I was coaching Vitinha started dribbling out the box, I'd be too happy, even though it is 3-0. Here's a chance maybe for Gula again. He's just got the ball at the edge of the penalty area. Arda Güler to the right, gives it short to Yılmaz. Çelik back to Arda Güler again, right edge of the box. Çelik once more on this near touchline for Turkey as they probe and try and find a way to get a goal in this game. Yılmaz, edge of the penalty area, plays it square, almost inviting a shot but not quite, as Cardiolo then gets it left edge of the box, off the angle. Turkey lined up against all these red shirts, then it's a poor pass, then the breakaway's on with Neto and Fernandes, and it's not a good. Çelik tries to find Yılmaz outside him, but again an outstretched boot, this time from Mendes, gets it clear, that bounces in the penalty area and out of play for a goal kick to Portugal. He's changed his mind, he's actually given a corner, I think.
Well, it was scrappy, wasn't it, there? Both teams giving the ball back to each other consecutively. But actually, Portugal showing a slightly different side to their defending, just defending their area, bodies behind the ball, and just saying, well, if you're going to have a go, it's going to have to be from distance.
Çalhanoğlu to deliver this one, and he does towards the edge of the penalty area. Taken down this time by Arda Güler, but he just can't get beyond Vitinha. Bernardo Silva on this near touchline to Vitinha again, just keeping the ball, Portugal, deep inside their own half, and then there's a problem because someone's on the field of play. The referee has to pause the game at this point while everyone else takes a breather. Pepe does 10 press-ups because he's fine. He doesn't need a breather.
His awareness has been that good, he spotted the supporter getting out of his seat.
He's quite remarkable, isn't he?
No, we're not going over the top. He has actually been outstanding. He's been the one, the amount of times that he's either headed it or intercepted from a cross from a Turkish player, that's not fluke. It's because he's read the game.
And it doesn't actually surprise me that at this point Roberto Martinez is giving him his moment. Listen to this from the Portuguese supporters as they bow down to Pepe as he comes off. Antonio Silva's the player coming on, and Roberto Martinez just clasps his hand and says yes as they hug each other. There's a reason he's in this team. Martinez sees that value even at the age of over 41 and a half. What a performance today from Pepe.
Yeah, excellent performance, showing again that age is just a number, and that if you keep yourself as fit as he has and you read the game, there's something to be said for all that experience and nous that you have as a defender to almost, make the strikers look average at times.
Diaz with a free kick for Portugal just inside their own half. It'll be an anxious few days for Turkey before that final group game, that's for sure, against Czechia. Here they come again now down this left-hand side, out wide. It's swung in, is it? No, Neto just cuts back onto his right foot. Now he looks to go, and quick feet, plays the ball back once more to Mendes. Mendes swings that to the back post. And coming in that time was Fernandes trying to get on the head of it, on the end of it, and Brian Dush is the player who managed to gather it in goal and then bowled it out immediately to try and launch a counter here for Turkey. And it's Arda Güler to Yılmaz. He's got Güler alongside him at the edge of the penalty area. Yılmaz gives it back to Güler. Similar angle to where he took his shot the other day. This time he tries to tee one up for Yusuf Yüzücü. And the ball goes out of play. It's very well defended this time on that far side by Semedo.
Yeah, lovely bit of disguise from Arda Güler. looking as if he's going to take that strike on again, but then just lifting it to use a shoot at the back post. He probably should have gone for the volley. Instead he tried to take it down and Semedo just stepped in front of him.
6 minutes remaining. Turkey 0, Portugal 3. Ronaldo not on the score sheet this time round as yet. Here's Yilmaz down this right hand side for Turkey. Arda Güler has seen plenty of the ball since he come on. Yilmaz, infield he goes to Vitinha. Little flick from Bernardo Silva. Doesn't quite work out this time. With Neto on this near side. Arda Güler again. Short. Controlled by Yıldız had come in field that time. The two teenagers combining for Turkey. Guardiola on that far side. Yıldız again. Short to Arda Güler. Wide on that far side for Guardiola. Just happy to keep the ball here, Turkey. It's the best they've done throughout this game, really. Yıldız on that far side on his right foot gets it over, but it's half cleared by Neves, and now Fernandes on that far side will go down, and Guardiola will be penalised for the foul, and that's a free kick for Portugal. Midway inside their own half. 5 minutes to go. You're listening to Euro Game Day Live on Talk Sport, presented by Burger King. Bring home the ultimate food satisfaction. Get your favourites delivered now.
If you wanted to just get a gauge on how important and what the other players think of Arda Güler, 19 years old, since he's come on, honestly every player is looking for him. He's trying to be that playmaker, that dictator, and that says everything about what the other players think of him.
Here come Turkey, and Güler in particular at the edge of the box, dances inside the penalty area, but he's just held off that time by the substitute Antonio Silva, but he's got it back on his left foot in a central position again. Lovely ball skipped out to the left hand side to Guardiola, who takes it in his stride. Arda Güler inside the box, clips it over towards the 6-yard area and cleared away by Mendes, and it had to be, as there were two white shirts gathering. That's well read that time by Neves to steal it away as they tried to find Güler again. And now down this left hand side is Pedro Neto. He's got Ronaldo with him, slips it first time. Ronaldo in the box, tries to lay it back that time, either onto his right foot or to Pedro Neto. Neither works. Fernandes comes and saves the day. And now on halfway, it's picked up once more for Portugal.
And once again, Ronaldo looking for the right option, playing it back towards Neto on the break. Could have taken the shot himself with his left foot to play it back to Neto, didn't quite work. But again, Arda Güler with a brilliant ball in over the top of Ruben Diaz's head, and Mendes did excellent to get into position.
Here's Ronaldo, edge of the box, tees that one up for Fernandes, who slips that through for the advance run from Bernardo Silva, but out comes Altabundas again, and this time he's able to gather it up, and he denies Bernardo Silva a second goal of the game.
Lovely disguise pass from Bruno Fernandes. Saw the run from Bernardo Silva, again faking to shoot and then just caressing it behind. And if Bernardo Silva had a tiny bit more pace, just checked his stride, Bernardo Silva, instead of going full pelt at that, allowed the goalkeeper to come out and play.
Don't forget, as well as you bringing you all 51 games from Euro 2024, we are of course live in Germany for so many more of our programmes as well. Don't forget TalkSport Euro breakfast on Monday morning, and then the game day warm up as well with White, Jordan and Stuart Pearce on Monday too. So plenty of our programmes coming live from Germany, as well as loads of content as well at talksport.com. Coutinho's being substituted here, and he's being replaced by João Neves. I mean, it's just an embarrassment of riches time and time again as to who can come off this Portuguese bench, and the quality just doesn't seem to slip at all. I'm pretty sure that's why I make them one of my favourites for this tournament. I really think they've got all bases covered as and when required, but they're going for a second straight victory here, and Ronaldo's yet to find the back of the net. 90 seconds plus time added on to play. Turkey 0, Portugal 3. It's for Turkey in the middle of the park this time with Yüksel. He lifts the ball forward down this right-hand side. It's a long raking ball that finds Cilic, who tries to get the better of Mendes, and he does this time to Yilmaz. Yilmaz at the edge of the box, tries to play it back towards Arda Güler, but it was a misplaced pass. The radar well off that time from Yilmaz. Now down this left-hand side, Neto on a charge. Neto's got the pace here if he keeps running. Chooses to go forward at the edge of the box, but it's really well defended that time by the substitute who steps in. And it's an opportunity here for Turkey just to gather possession again. The game's been long gone, but they're still working incredibly hard. And that was decent bit defended there by Demiral on that occasion.
Giving the ball away.
He's got more to do here. Ronaldo's just drifted offside, has he? Slipped to the right-hand side. Ronaldo in the box. Lovely little layoff. The shot coming in from Bernardo Silva again. And it's well blocked at the edge of the 6-yard box. And it's that man once more, Demiral, who gets across and makes the block.
Yeah, it looked like tight defending there, and I'm sure Ronaldo knew that he actually had time there to swivel and shoot himself. He laid off to Bernardo Silva, who tried to be really clever with his finish, just reversing it into the opposite corner. Demiral, who's actually looked good since he's come on, a couple of good defensive bits of work. That was a good block.
Well, they know he's going to be needed in that third group game for sure. 5 added minutes in Dortmund. Turkey 0, Portugal 3. Coming up, Belgium against Romania. That's next here on TalkSport. Cleared away from the edge of the penalty area, that time by Guardiola. It's bouncing and it'll have to be dealt with by Antonio Silva. And he's done well. He finds Semedo down this right-hand side. In front of him is Fernandes, who tries to get across, but the offside flag goes up. And that will be a free kick for Turkey, level with the edge of their own penalty area.
I think they've shown many facets actually in this performance, Portugal, that they can defend deep, that they can counter-attack if they need to, that they can control the game with their possession and rotation, that they've got players that can hurt you. As Arda Güler, I think, was looking to shoot from his own half, was he?
I think he may have been. If well, put it this way, it wasn't a very good shot and it wasn't a very good pass, so I'm not sure what he'll pass that one off as. A minute of the 5 are played. Turkey 0, Portugal 3. And all the noise coming from the small section of Portuguese fans they're in Dortmund with tickets to this game. It's Semedo down the right-hand side. That's better. Bernardo Silva on the charge. Ronaldo's at the edge of the penalty area. Bernardo Silva still going. Goes down. The referee says absolutely no interest at all.
Oh, I'm not too sure. I think Bernardo Silva gets caught here as there's another supporter on the pitch after Ronaldo.
There it is. They are. They want a high five with him. Well, I know in this country we've had our criticism about allowing supporters onto fields of play, but that's another one in the same game. I mean, it is shoulder to shoulder, but there's plenty of intent in there from Çalhanoğlu.
Yeah, I think there is, but he's got his body at a good angle, as if he's just ahead of Bernardo Silva, and then there's not much to him, is there? Bernardo, he's not carrying any holiday weight like myself. He's lean, and Çalhanoğlu just bodied him in the end.
That leanness is just what makes him quite so tricky in those movements. The way he just weaves himself in and out at times, isn't it?
Yeah, his work rate is just magnificent as well, isn't it? Really sets the tempo for any team.
I feel in fact he's been rewarded with a goal tonight. Goal for Bruno Fernandes as well, and that own goal earlier in the game. The 3 that have helped Portugal to these 3 points and back-to-back victories. Can Turkey offer in these closing stages? 2 minutes of added time to play. Guardiola. That's it back to the skipper, who again is one of those looking for Arda Güler, and this one's driven by Cilic. Mendes will block it out, another corner. Turkey on the run.
Çalhanoğlu has been brilliant actually with his distribution in this game. Different role as he's getting older, a deeper quarterback type role rather than being further forwards. But again, another supporter.
Oh, this is getting ridiculous now. Not only is it ridiculous, but safety of players and security is fairly appalling. The 3rd time this game has been interrupted by supporters coming from the stand, all of whom are have to say, what a piece of Cristiano Ronaldo, and a handshake and a high five.
Yeah, look, he handles it very well, doesn't he? Considering it must be disconcerting, you know, checking over your shoulder, a fan hurtling towards you, but become accustomed to it and handles it well.
Just over a minute to play. Turkey 0, Portugal 3. Gulu is the one who swings in the corner this time, headed away by Mendes. The teenager gets it back. He goes short this time to Chilik. Chilik again on this right-hand side. Onto his right foot. He's closed down by Mendes. Finds Yilmaz, just tries to turn and get away from Fernandes. And again they try to find Gula. On this near side, the breakaway is on now for Fernandes. Depends how much he's got left in those legs. They look tired legs, to be fair. Cristiano Ronaldo down this left-hand side. Ball at feet, skips past the one challenge. Plays a delightful ball to that right-hand side to Bernardo Silva. He's continued his run into the penalty area. Semedo's outside of him. And here's the chance for Ruben Neves to fire one. We've seen him score some spectacular goals from outside the penalty area. But that's over the bar. And again, Cristiano Ronaldo is putting his fingers to his hair as you say, I've just run half the length of the field, and that's what we do with the ball.
Yeah, but that's Ruben Neves' zone, isn't it? We've seen him score some worldies from that position. I think Ronaldo's frustration comes from knowing there's been chances, there's been openings in this game, and he's just not had that genuine chance.
He hasn't, and Neves hasn't scored in his 48 appearances for Portugal, so no wonder he fancied a goal. And there's the full-time whistle, and it's Portugal who are safely through to the round of 16 at Euro 2024, and another fan comes on the field of play after a selfie with Cristiano Ronaldo, who was very unselfish. He turned provider for Portugal's third goal tonight when he could have had a shot himself, but instead he set up Bruno Fernandes. That was adding to the own goal in the first half and the goal from Bernardo Silva. A comfortable night for the Portuguese, a sweaty night tonight for Turkey, and they will continue to sweat because it's all on the final game day for them against Czechia to see if they can find their way into the round of 16 too. Dortmund may have been overrun by Turkish supporters tonight, but on the field of play, it's Portugal who dominated. Full time in Dortmund, Turkey 0, Portugal 3.